Got a good one in store for you today, Pops.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
We got a success story from a member.
Oh, he's Swedish, eh?
So if this is your first time watching a video here, Your Auto Advocate, through all the videos that we produce on YouTube, content we have back at our website, yourautoadvocate.com, we help people get more efficient and fair car deals. Like buy more quickly and be more empowered.
Okay.
So,
yes,
we got a success story that David Henning sent in to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it out to you, Pops, and get your reaction to it. Grab your cup of tea.
And my blankie, and I'm going to lay my head down.
But don't always stare at the second monitor. Make eye contact with the people.
If I fall asleep, it's just practice for when you have kids. Time to take a nappy.
7 lessons learned from YAA.
Yes.
I looked on your website but could not find a place to send your story about buying a new car. I did finally find it, but I have too many characters to use your online form. Yeah, James, maybe you can put on the screen where it is. But anyway.
Maybe we need more characters.
Apologize for the length. Hope this place is okay to send it to you. Yeah, you can always email stuff in.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at getting a new Subaru Crosstrek so I can do a little camping and off-road trips. This is from David.
Yeah.
I looked last year at getting one, but they seemed underpowered with the 2.0 liter engine. But then they put 2.5 liters in this year. Right off the bat, I emailed one of my local dealers and salespeople that he had talked to last year with their asking for their best OTD price. And again, surprisingly, he sent the info back to me, and it was actually a very good price. Lesson number 1 learned from YAA: ask for the OTD price.
Absolutely, always do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We emailed back and forth for a few days confirming info, options, colors, and the model I wanted, and scheduled a time to come down and look at the car. This was Friday. I went back and checked out the car, test drove it, learned all I could about it, etc., etc., etc. I decided to go ahead and see if he can get approved and filled out the credit application. I had to get back home so I could talk to them. I would talk to them later, not telling them anything about possibly trading in my less than 1-year-old car, as I had not decided yet if it was better to trade it in or sell it on my own. So I went home and let them work their magic. Now, knowing what I know from watching several of your videos, I was really curious as to what they would come back with. Remember, I already had a great price quote from them last Friday, the first day I contacted them. So we had contacted them in advance and got an initial quote.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we didn't have our Black Book integration at the time David was doing this, but now we have Black Book quotes in YA as well.
Yeah.
One of the other things I learned from you is about the sales tax break you can get in certain states when you trade in your car for a new one.
That is correct.
My dad wrote a great guide, The Trade-in Tactics for Success. We'll put it on the screen. We'll link it down below. It's awesome.
I wrote that?
You did. That was one of the ones you actually wrote last year before I started ghostwriting your shit for you. Okay.
Oh, you can't say that word.
Washington is one of those states, but I have only been here for less than a year and didn't know about that. So in Washington, you actually, I forget actually, I don't want to say it about the fly. I do think you get a tax break.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had not lived in the state that has this before, so I was wondering how it would work. The next day, Saturday, they got back to me with the good news. I was approved. I asked for the details and was told I was approved for 7.99%.
Hey, they're just trying to make back all the money they gave away on the front end of the
I said okay and got the bank info, which was Subaru Financing, which is actually Chase Bank.
Yeah.
Okay, so far right, huh? I asked to speak with the F&I Manager to work out and negotiate the exact details. I got a call from the F&I guy, and my first question to him was, is this the best rate you can give me? And I asked him to do homework. I asked him that due to the homework I did, lesson 3, for myself due to what I learned from Your Auto Advocate, you guys. So I knew from my credit score and research from auto websites, and one of the advertised rates should actually be at 6.97%, not 7.99%.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are a lot of variables that can change this, but I was well informed from studying up. I emailed him a screenshot that showed him what I was talking about straight up and asked if he would come down to the advertised APR of 6.97%. He hesitated at first, but quickly said, okay. Great. I said I'll be down shortly to verify everything and talk about all the details.
Yes.
So far, I have not mentioned anything about the trade-in, but I've already gotten 2 quotes online from Carvana, also known as Carvuna, and Vroom. And they're
also
offers...
known as Vrum.
Well done. That was good. What they would pay for the car.
Yeah.
And they both had about the same amount.
Okay.
I made a copy and took all that with me while I was thinking about how quick he gave me the APR. And lesson 4, everything that is taxable
is negotiable.
Back down to the dealer I go. I met up with the sales guy and he took me right to meet the F&I manager.
Perfect.
Here's where it gets fun.
Okay.
I like
fun.
I like fun too.
Yeah.
I said to him, I think I can save us both a lot of time and hassle with one question. He said, sure. So I asked, may I see the buy rate for my approval?
Yeah.
Can you explain just briefly for everyone that's new here, what is buy rate on an approval?
When when they send in a request for a loan and a bank approves it, the bank will say, your customer's approved for X amount of dollars for X amount of term, and here's the interest rate that we're going to charge you as the dealership, and you are free to mark that rate up. So the buy rate is what they're charging the dealership for the money.
The sell rate is what they quote you.
The sell rate is what the dealership then quotes you.
And the approval is the actual approval from the bank showing.
Yes, yes. Which means that they can literally sell you the money for the same as they buy it for, and they can get a flat from the bank for having placed the loan.
A couple $100 instead of a couple $100 plus 3-point difference in the buy to sell rate.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the difference between a couple $100 and a couple $1,000.
You should have seen the look on his face. He went as pale as a ghost, literally.
Yeah.
It was all I could do to keep from chuckling. I was that surprised. Well, he said no, and that we do not have to show you that info, to which I said, you are right, you do not. But that was not very transparent of your dealership, like it says right on your dealer website. You see why I picked this one?
Yes.
I was calm the whole time, just wanting to get the best info I can. I said thank you, said goodbye to my salesman, who was wonderful this whole time, but of course is not the F&I guy, and I turned around and walked out. After all, I have a car that is less than a year old, but wanted to have the cross-check since last year when I first started looking.
Yeah.
Best time to buy a car
is when you don't need one.
I was actually backing out of the dealership parking lot nearly in the street when my salesman ran out and flagged me down. He said the manager will go ahead and show me the APR. I pulled back in and parked and went inside. Now when I went to the manager's office and sat down, he showed me a worksheet type paper. Not the approval, but a piece of paper that had an APR, the credit scores, terms, etc., on how they came to the approved APR for the loans. I looked at him and said, no, I want to see the actual approval from the approving bank with the actual buy rate on it. Lesson 5.
Yeah.
Again, you should have seen the look he gave me. It was priceless. He hesitated a bit, but finally got up, came back a few minutes later with the actual approval. And what do you know? I was approved for 4.79%. They tried to upsell my APR by 3.2% to pad their profit.
Yep.
Who would have thought? Now, I am not sure how much money that means for the dealership, but I'm guessing it's a pretty
Thousands.
penny. Yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
I thought about just leaving. There are lots of Subaru dealerships around me, as he was still kind of being the proverbial sales guy, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was not getting a this place is shady and untrustworthy type of feeling, but more of a they were just not expecting me kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they're hopeful.
Yeah, they're hopeful you're a layup. What's it called? A lay down. A lay down.
Yeah, layup's kind of in basketball.
Yeah, lay down is when you just walk in and, it's MSRP? Okay, I'll pay for it.
$799 sounds good to me.
This is why we do what we do.
Yes.
Needless to say, he was a bit surprised. He told me no one has ever asked him that before. But I do think at this point, he knew I was well informed and that he knew what I was talking about. Yeah. Things went pretty easily from this point on. So this is when I brought up the possible trade-in. It went fairly easy as I put down a good down payment in my trade, and I have good down payment on the new car as well. The nice thing is that there's the tax break. I saved over $2,000 in taxes, which was like having another $2,000 down on the new car. Fantastic. I decided to go ahead and do that instead of bothering to sell it on my own. I may have gotten a bit more money doing a private sale, of course, but I didn't want to bother with all that. I canceled the VSC I had on my car. Don't get mad because I bought it. It was before I found you all and learned all I know now. We also sell extended warranties VSCs. And I will get 90% of that cost back because of the low miles on my trade-in.
Good.
Awesome. It was Saturday evening and getting late, and since I couldn't get to the bank to get the down payment anyways, I told them I would be back on Monday. I forgot to get a copy of the actual bank approval, lesson 6. He said okay, and I left. When I got home and watched a few more episodes of Why Hey Hey, Monday comes along and I am back at the dealer, this time with my down payment, and I kind of let it slip out of my envelope so he would see it. Anywho, the first thing I asked was for the copy of the actual bank approval. He said again, that's not something they usually show customers, but he would ask his manager. I had to get a drink, and when I came back, it was on his desk. Next step was to negotiate a possible vehicle service contract, just in case I do keep this car for a long time, and knowing I can get a refund if I do decide to cancel it. You can always get prorated refunds on extended warranties. I also used your VSC quote to use as a negotiating tool. I ended up getting it $100 over his cost, and he did show me his price right away when I asked. Lesson 7, negotiate everything.
Yes, indeed.
Signed the contract and drove home in my new Subaru Crosstrek Limited. MSRP was $32,705, a $3,500 discount. Price paid, doc fee $150, saved 3% on the APR. Not bad for a few days' work. Overall, I would have to say it was a good experience thanks to Ray and Zach. I appreciate you and all that you have done for the community, the videos you have done, the lessons I and others have learned, and all the time you have put in to help us out. Hopefully my experience can help others too.
It will only help others if they actually put into practice, like you did, all the things that we go over on a daily basis in our videos,
and use the tools too.
and use
of
all
course,
the
yeah.
tools so that you can take advantage of, well, the knowledge that we have that we're passing on to you.
Well, and part of our responsibility, like I'm really proud of the email templates, right? Like, because it's really easy for us to make a video. That's not easy, but I mean, we can make a video.
It's easy. I sit here and I pontificate.
Or we can write a guide, like here's the
Yeah.
email templates. But then to actually use it's a little hard. So like in the app now, click on email templates. It's got the dealer's contact info. It's got the email template. Copy, send. So like part of our responsibility and our commitment is to make it easier, to add like little automations.
Yes.
So that, David obviously. Also, can you give him the stamp of approval?
The Ray Shefska stamp of approval.
So obviously David is like highly engaged and committed. We can't expect that everyone wants to roll up their sleeves, as much as he did. So we're trying our best to empower you through software essentially, or even services. Like, for example, he got the VSC quote.
Yes.
We get so many people that give us shit from time to time.
You're not allowed to use that word.
We can bleep in videos. We can't bleep in live streams.
Oh, okay.
Test it.
No.
We get so many people that give us a hard time. Like, you guys are selling out. You sell extended warranties now.
Yeah, and you make $500 per extended warranty. While you're making so much, but you have any idea what it costs to do this?
When that's David is a perfect example
of why we say to customers, get a quote from us so that you can share it with your F&I guy to bring down the price of the one he's trying to sell you. Would we like to sell you an extended service contract?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because we'll make $500. Are we equally as happy that you were able to utilize the information that we provided to get a better price from the dealership and just roll it into your loan? Absolutely. The whole idea behind this is to empower you to save money, whether that's buying from us or buying from the dealership by utilizing our tools so you can get a better price.
How much do you think David saved? I mean, just on the loan, right? We're talking 3 points on a
I don't know how much,
loan.
but yeah, 3 points is probably $3,000 at least, maybe more.
So it's super rewarding to be able to do this.
And then you know for a fact that if the extended warranty cost the dealer $1,500, that he was trying to sell it to David for $3,500.
Yeah, you're not as into it. That probably costs just $800, $700.
Okay,
and I bet you're still trying to sell it for
$3,500. So I don't know how much did Dave save.
I don't know if he goes by Dave.
Okay, how much did David save by utilizing your auto advocate? And I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the neighborhood of around $6,000 between the 3.2% that he got knocked off on the loan fee that they were, or the APR they were going to charge him, and the money that he saved on the VSC.
Yeah.
Because you and I both know that they were going to charge him. Whatever they were going to charge him was initially set up to make the dealership somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000.
So, and the other thing that I'll mention that I'm proud of here is in his story was the change in kind of like cadence or demeanor from the dealer once they knew he knew.
Yes.
And so that's the other thing. It's not necessarily can you always save $6,000. Yeah. But you can also save a heck of a lot of headache and time and take control of a situation that is traditionally. So we get a lot of success stories, and we need to do more from women in particular.
Yes.
Who feel incredibly empowered through exercising this knowledge and exercising this ability to take control.
And the reason they do, when I was only in the industry for 43 years, is because salespeople salivate when a single woman walks into the dealership.
They're preyed upon.
Yes.
Single women and also minorities, I imagine, as well. And people that you can judge at face value. Oh, they probably have bad credit because they're a minority. And so in David's story, when he said they saw it and he knew, you're going to get through that deal with more confidence. You're going to get through it more quickly.
Yes.
And if you can save some money too, that's a win. So anyway, that's David's story.
That's our story.
I'm stamping you.
Oh.
And I am proud too.
Yeah, that's our story. That's not just David's story. That's our story.
It's your story. If you're part of this community, that's your story too.
That's proof that there's value in what we bring to the table.
Yeah.
That's proof.
That if you're watching this, you can do it too. That's
Yes.
proof that you can do it. If
Yes.
you're intimidated, you do what David did.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Matter of fact, we'll send you Dave's email
Yeah,
address.
contact him right now.
Yeah, and he'll help you.
All right, did I pick a good one?
I think you did. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't fall asleep.
Yeah, better than picking your nose.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, Pops.
You're welcome.